Tov, good morning. Chodesh Tov, Parshat Terumah. Okay, so in this Parsha, Hashem commands a building of a Mishkan, which was the temporary Beit HaMikdash, which later on would lead to become the Beit HaMikdash, even though the measurements were not the same from Mishkan to Beit HaMikdash, but that was the main blueprint. So there's a lot of lessons we learn from how they built it, or the commandments, how they raised the money, the way Hashem asked that people should donate their gold, kesef, silver, nechoshet, copper. So I want to share a few thoughts about zahav, kesef, and choshet. Gold, silver, and copper. There's a Da'at Zekanim that says, Da'at Zekanim, one of the commentaries on Chumash, it says that Zahav is the highest level of giving tzedakah, giving gold, right? Not only gold because it's very expensive, but
nowadays it's almost $3,000 an ounce.
So besides the price of zahav, the way you give it. So if you were a kid, I'm sure you learned that somebody who gives on his own without being asked, that's your gold level. When they have to ask you, becomes a silver level. When they have to really push you and squeeze you, then it's already third level. You get a medal, but third level medal. That the Kenim says that not only that, when a person is healthy and has no issues with life, and he gives, right, that's gold. Zahav stands for three words. Zahav, hebet, right? Ze hanoten bari. Somebody who gives and is healthy. When you're healthy, you don't have any, you have no worries, no issues. That's gold. That's the best level. Hashem says you're not giving just because you want to get health back. As we show them, there is a court case coming. You want to avoid paying lawyers, bills. Give it when you're healthy. That's the hub. That's the best level. Kesef is somebody when he's sick, right? It doesn't say the wording here, but there's a wording for it too. If I find it, it says that when he's laying in bed, Hashem, help me get up. I want to go back to my life. That's the second level, right? Kesef. And nechoshet, copper, is the lowest one, Shabbat Shalom. It's somebody who says, I can't give till I die. Right?
I give till I die.
Right. It says, give when I die.
I give when
He writes, when I die, give it away. Why not now? I can't. He's hoping maybe he stays another day, maybe you could take some money with him.
That's fear. That's insecurity.
He's very attached to his money. He's very attached to his physicality. He can't let go of his money. Right? Unfortunately, we feel like we have ownership over the money. We can keep it as much as we want. Impossible. Because by the campaign last week, I talked to many people. Devastating what could happen to a person. Somebody was very high up, right? Could unfortunately lose over a second. That the fire, Malibu and Pali fire, unbelievably. People who couldn't save their very precious items, not only monetary precious, family items, something that was left from his great grandfather for him, his tefillin from his bar mitzvah, holy items in the house. Nothing stays, unfortunately. We're wishing that things should stay forever, but it doesn't work like that. Some people think, until I die, I want to keep it. Why? it's too much gashmiut, right? Too much gashmiut. They say when a baby is born, he's born with a fist closed. You know why? But he wants to get everything in his world. He wants to hold on to everything. When he dies, a sign of death is when you open your hand and you can't close it. Why? Because you go out, you go with empty hands. There's no money. Money doesn't go with you, right? So we choose what level of tzedakah we're going to give. Is it zahav, kesef, or nechoshet? Is it giving when I don't need to? Because I know it's important to support. You know, Hashem made me a shaliach. Gemara says there was a Romanian, whatever, a non-Jew asked one of the Chachamim, you say in your Torah that Hashem is Rachum, Hashem is merciful. He said, of course. So why there's poor in the world? Why don't have money? He said, you think Hashem couldn't give the money to him directly? He's making an opportunity available for me to do a mitzvah. It's for my good. Obviously Hashem could. Hashem is testing me. I give you the money. Are you going to use it in a good way or not? If I don't, why should I give it to you? I can give it to him directly. I can give it to another person to give it to him. Hashem has made the system in the world, right, for us to have opportunities to give tzedakah, to do a mitzvah. Pasuk says, "Kilo yechtal ev yom min haaretz." Hashem will not uproot poor from the world. They will be always poor, not because Hashem doesn't like them. Hashem is testing the one that they have. Are you going to help? Are you going to be a kind person? Or you want to be all for myself? Unfortunately, some people are nechoshet. You know, some people think, you know, their children will do better with it, even though the children don't need it. They're well off already. But the grandchildren will do it. And unfortunately, many times the grandchildren are not even Jewish. I don't know what they're giving the money for. But they can give. Even though, you know, they're about to go, still holding on. There's a word for it that it says when he's dying, he says, "Tenu achar mitzvah," something like that. Give after I die, not before I die. So someone says, you know, I'm going to put in my will for tzedakah. Why in your will? Why not when you're alive? You know, you want to give tzedakah, give now. Why when you die? You want to give for your children? Fine, put aside this much money you need. Great. You have to support your children. But you have a good business to make more money than you. Why should you be in the will to go to tzedakah? Still, there's a chut for someone who died, his money to be used for tzedakah, right? When he's alive, much higher. It could be, you know, kesef, could be zahav even. Why are you waiting for nechoshet? Zahav, kesef, nechoshet. Depends what level of mitzvah you want to do. There is a interesting Khatam Sofer. Khatam Sofer says, Zahav, Kesef, and Choshet are letters for the days that we read the Torah. How? That read the Torah. Zayin is 7. That's Shabbat. Hey is Thursday. Bet is Monday. So Monday, Thursday, and Shabbat, we read the Torah. Zayin, Hey, Bet, Zahav. Kesef, Chaf is Yom Kippur, right? Samech is Sukkot, and Pei is Pesach and Purim. Read Torah in those days. Nechoshet, Nun is Rosh Hashanah, as a Nun over there. Chet is Rosh Chodesh, and Chanukah. Shin is Shavuot. Shin is only Shavuot. And Tav is Tisha B'Av, which Shir Tamuz is also the same day as Tisha B'Av. And Ta'anit. Tav is Ta'anit, any fast day, right? So Zahav, Kesef, and Choshet, talking about the very precious items that are Torah reading days. So he says, no wonder people donate money when they get Aliyah, when they read the Torah. Because they have Kesef and Choshet. It shows the importance of learning Torah. Right, yeah. You know, when you give donation, but why you know, when a person reads the Torah, because Zahav, Kesef, and Choshet are the items are donated to Beit HaMikdash, and each letter represents one day of the year that we read the Torah. We have a public Torah reading. So I saw a very beautiful thought from Rabbi David Feinstein. A friend of mine gave me a gift. He saw my wife in a supermarket. Said, "Oh, I have a gift for your husband." Rabbi Hikmatja, and he gave me a gift of the David Mizon of David Feinstein, Chelek Aleph and Bereshit. So I love the book. I went to Baltimore a couple of weeks ago. I bought the second Chelek Shemot. He was Rosh Hashiva in New York, son of Rav Moshe Feinstein, the both, Gedolei Ador. So he says he wrote from his teachings. Says that Torah says, tell the Jews, the Bnei Israel, veikhu li terumah. They should take for me terumah. What does that mean, take? You go to his house and say, give me, let you kach. No, it's a very strong language. You're forcing someone to give the money.
Give is take.
No, veitenu li terumah. They should give. What are they going to give? Veikhu means you taking. Right? Then the Torah says, Kol asher yidevenu libo, whatever your heart desires, your heart is generous to give, not me taking, you giving.
Because when you give, you get so much back. That's my
Understand? But the way he says is that you take from the guy, you take from the Jews, you don't give him an option. And then he says, whatever your spirit, your heart desires, and then he says, take my money, take the Terumah, take the donation. Which one is it? When you're fundraising, you're asking money to give, asking people to give money, or you're forcing people to give money? Which one is the eye doctor? Which one do you like better?
asking to get money.
I know, but does it work all the time? You have to squeeze people to give, right? So which one is better? The Torah doesn't say they should give; they should take. Hashem is commanding Moshe Rabbeinu and his fundraisers. You force people to give.
So it says if they don't give, you force them to give.
Right, but meaning Hashem is already putting there. You're gonna force people to give. Veikhu terumah.
Because God knew how people are. So sometimes
Right, but the way you pay attention to the pasuk is unbelievable. And it says veikhu is like kind of a coercion. You're forcing someone to give. There's a concept in Torah, kefiyah, kofe. Somebody you force somebody to do something. For example, doesn't want to give the money back. You owe somebody, but they could kofe you. You have no choice.
Maybe it means don't refuse him. Don't say he's a bad guy. I don't need to from him. Don't refuse him.
Okay, so meaning don't give up anybody. You have to. Okay, but the language is, somebody doesn't want to give a get to his wife. A get is something that he has to be willing to give. He cannot be given by force. But sometimes they would beat him up to say, "Oh, I give. Sorry, no, I'll give." A couple of lashes, he would start, behaving. So which one is it? Am I kofe? Bedin kofin? Bedin is forcing the guy to give it. Torah says he has to be willing to give. Sometimes there's a force, right? So Rabbi David is asking this following question. When you go for fundraising, usually the spirit of fundraising is the person should like to give. And that should be the ratzon, the will of Hashem, that people should give on their own, not being forced to give, right? So why is it that the Torah is already telling us you're going to force him? Veikhu, twice. Veikhu leterumah, tikhu leterumati. Both is tikhu, kach. You take. You don't let him decide. You make him. Someone told me that in the valley there was a shul, and somebody in the shul, older man, when he wanted to fundraise, he would go to people's offices or stores or whatever. He would not ask, he would tell them, "You're writing 5,000, give me the check." And nobody argued. Okay. He would give the price and people just write it. And they bought a shoe like this. They raised 300. This is like 18 years ago, 19 years. That's a lot of money. He had the very nice down payment, just telling people how much you write, not would you write this? I want you to write, you're writing 5,000, you're writing 10,000, 18 years ago. So why did the Torah put that kind of concept? He forced people to give. So he says, you could explain like this. Sometimes a person would like to give a piece of gold, let's say, to Beit HaMikdash. Yeah, I think in his machshava, in his thought, I give $10,000. After a while, he says, $10,000, it's a lot of money. I thought I'm going to give that much. We're not going to mention it. Once he makes an edit, it's a different story. He thought of giving 10,000. Too much, right? I'm not like, 2 days ago I thought 10,000. Today I'm a different. My heart gives me maybe 1,000. I don't want to give 10,000 anymore. So he cannot actualize what he said. What do we do?
We push.
Bedding is involved. Bedding, because he thought of 10,000. You got to give 10,000, right? So now Bedin is going to force him to give 10,000. So then he's not willingly give 10,000. Bedin is on my back. He's telling me every day, what happened to your 10,000? I'm getting text messages, emails, phone calls. Give the 10,000, please. Waiting. Come on. So he says, does Hashem consider that person to be a forced person to give, or is the one who wanted to give on his own? He says, based on what Chachamim said, for a get, you force the husband to give the get, but how do you force him? You cannot force him. If you don't write, we'll kill you. You say, we force you to say, I would like to give the get. You force him. Very good. That's exactly what he says. You force him to say, I would like to give the get. And then when he gives it, he has to say, I'm giving the get, I'm asking the sofer to write the get, and I like him to do it. A day ago, he got 3 slaps on the face. But today he's saying, I would like to give it. According to Torah, that's considered to be willing. Otherwise, the get wouldn't work. Otherwise, the lady would not be divorced, right? So the fact that they forced him to give, if they didn't force him to give, he would not give. He's only giving the get because they forced him to give. But he's saying, I like to give. According to Torah, that's considered to be a willing gift, willing get. So that's why the Torah says, whoever his heart desires to give, make sure you take him. Meaning, we have to force people to finish what they wanted to do. And so he says that when you force him to complete what he thought, what he wanted to give, Hashem considers him that he's giving it willingly, even though you have to push him, squeeze him to give. So, so he says that. So how do we know how much he wanted to give? Did he write it? Did he say it? Did he announce it? How do we know that he says that if you can estimate that he wanted to give, but if Yisrael is telling him not to give, right? You could push him to give, and even if he's screaming and say, "They are forcing me to give," I don't want to give. They are forcing me to give. As long as he knows he's giving for the right cause, he's giving it willingly. Obviously, he has to write the check. He can't take the money out of his ass. So he says, even if the guy says, one time I like to give, that's good enough. That's good enough. You did your job. He's giving willingly. Hashem considers him. He's not a force. He's not a coercion, right?
What if he never said, I would like to give, but you force him to give, but he never wants to give? He never said, I would like to give.
I don't know what to do about that. So that's something to keep in mind, right? So when you encourage a person, you squeeze a person to give what he,
One thing.
you could tell. If he goes to shul, he likes the shul, right? If he's getting service from that shul, that means it's a good place to go. Why are you going there? The fact that he's not giving, that just Yisahara is holding back. Right? He goes to yeshiva, he learns somewhere, he likes that chesed institution. He likes to give. Everybody has Yisahara not to give. You know what I mean? Everybody has that's because it was a mitzvah of Terumah, of donation, is Satan will block you. There was no mitzvah. The same person that said, I can't give, he will spend 10,000 on vacation. What happened? You have only $100 for tzedakah, $10,000 to go on a vacation? Doesn't make sense. If you don't have money, I understand, but you have money. So obviously, just because there's a Yetzer Hara, right? Other one, vacation, he says, go have fun. It's a lot of fun out there. So it's all Yetzer Hara blocking us not to do the mitzvah. So that's why a person could be nodev lev, could have a spirit of giving, but not actualize his giving. Hashem says, make sure he gives. Okay, one more thought. We have a lot to share. Wow, it's 9:30. The Torah is a very important pasuk in this Parsha. It says, "V'asu li mikdash shachanti betocham." You should make a bet hamikdash. I should dwell in your bet hamikdash, in them. So before she asks the following question, mikdash is one place, but it says, "V'shachanti betocham." I dwell with them. How many places Hashem is going to dwell? Right? One place, shachtim betocho or betocha, Torah should have said. Betocham is plural. Talking about a few mishkans that Hashem said to make, or one mishkan, maybe he meant Bet HaMikdash Rishon, Sheni. What does it mean? V'asu mikdash shachtim betocham. Right? Before I give that answer to that, the very famous midrash. Midrash says there was a king that had only one daughter, and he loved his daughter. When he married her off to a guy, he wanted to move out. So he said that I can't leave my daughter alone. Can you make a house, a back house, a small room in your apartment, whatever? I want to be next to my daughter. So make a guest house for me.
The guy agreed.
The guy agreed. So see, that's what Hashem said. Hashem loved his Torah so much when he gave away his Torah to us. He said, I want to be next to the Torah. I can't let go of the Torah. I want to be with them. That's what Hamikdash. Torah is so important to Hashem. They put it in the box in Har HaKodesh, right? Har HaBerit. And that's where Hashem wanted to be next to. So make a house for me because I'm coming next to you. I want to be next to my daughter, to the Sefer Torah, to the Torah. Besides the Aaron, which was the most important part, the box, the measurement is 2.5 by 1.5 by 1.5 amma. Measurements in Torah are different than our measurements. The foot, it's amma. 1 amma is from here till here. That's 1 amma, pretty much. And Torah talks about making a shulchan. It was a table with rags that they put 12 challahs over there every week, from one Shabbat to another Shabbat, right? And then there was a menorah. So talks about a menorah. Menorah was a candelabra that they lit 7 candles every day or every night, and some say every day too. We talk about other items, another smaller, big mizbeach, small mizbeach. We could talk about curtains or the wood panels. So why did Hashem ask to put shulchan, a table of bread, in the Kodesh, in the very holy place, not next to the Aron, but very close to the Aron, with the curtain separating the two areas? Why should the curtain? So Gemara says shulchan represents parnasa, right? So put the parnasa next to the Aron, next to the Sefer Torah. Person should know, should pray, should know that parnasa comes from Hashem. right? So you go to shul, you go to Bet HaMikdash, you go to Mishkan, you pray for your parnasa. You go to work too. But the person should know that parnasa comes from Hashem. You daven. People have a problem with parnasa. What should they do? You all have to pray. Hashem, give us parnasa. The person should know Hashem is the one who opens the shefa, the channel for the parnasa to come. So now, menorah, Torah or, right? Right? Torah, mitzvot, spirituality. That's also over there. So my Rabbi said that, you see, even for Torah, you have to pray to Hashem that Hashem helps you learn. Hashem helps mitzvot. We couldn't do the mitzvot on our own. We need siyata d'shmaya. We need the help of God. Even to come to shul, even to have a peace of mind to learn. We need Hashem's help. So it's there. Hashem says first put the shulchan there. Hashem talks about shulchan. Why? Because en kemach en Torah. If there is no money, if there is no food, there is no Torah either. Right? You have to have parnasa. So you pray, ask Hashem, give me parnasa because I want to learn. I want to learn Torah, do Torah. Right? Also Mishnah says, Imen Torah el kemach. You have parnasa, but you don't go to learn Torah, to do mitzvah, then forget about what's the parnasa good for. Who are you keeping all the money in your bank account for? You're not using it for Torah. Good for Torah. So, but Hashem commanded to build the shulchan first. The parnasa should come first. It doesn't mean parnasa overrides spirituality. It means you need parnasa to be able to. You need to support the Torah in order Torah to be learned. There's a very interesting Gemara. We just finish. Okay. Gemara in Bava Batra says that Gemara says, Amar Rabbi Yehuda, Amar Rab, Bram, Zachor Torah Ha'ish Latov. Blessed memory of this person, Yehoshua ben Gamla Shemo, a very holy person, Yehoshua ben Gamla. I don't know why he's called Yehoshua ben Gamla. Gamla means camel, right? Yehoshua, son of a camel. If it wasn't because of him, Nishtekach Torah Israel, Torah would have been forgotten from the Jewish nation. He saved the Torah for all the generations to come. So Torah, because in beginning, from time of Moshe Rabbeinu, who would teach their children Torah? Fathers. Somebody has a father would teach the Torah. Mishelo Av, lo yelamed Torah. Somebody didn't have a father, he wouldn't learn Torah. My darush, why? Because the Torah says, "V'limatem otam." Teach them. You teach them, meaning, right? Meaning you have to teach your children. I can hire somebody, but they said, Torah said, "V'limatem otam," v'limatem atem. You teach. The father has to sit down at home.
You meaning the parents.
The parents have to teach, right? Your children. I could have said, you know what? Torah said I have to teach. I will teach them. I hire a rabbi. Teach. No. Father has to teach. They first said, what are we going to do? We're going to put teachers in Yerushalayim. Somebody doesn't know how to teach. Come to Yerushalayim. Learn. My darush. Why? Because from Tzion, from Yerushalayim, Torah comes out. You want to learn Torah, you have to go to Yerushalayim. They didn't say in Tel Aviv, they didn't say in Bnei Brak, they didn't say in Beersheba, Sfat, all over. Right? They said only Yerushalayim. So Father said, thank you. I don't know how to teach, but thank you for putting teachers in Yerushalayim. But only if somebody had a father who would take him up to Yerushalayim, teach him Torah. If there's no father, if there was a yatom, an orphan, Rahman al-Islam, he would not go and learn. Right? They said, you know what, we're going to make another institution. We're going to have teachers in every state, every county, not every, not only in Yerushalayim. We're going to have 10 different places in the whole country. People are going to go learn. And everybody would go when you're about 16, 17 years old. Go there. Up to 16, your father teaches you, right? After 16, the rabbi will teach you. But let's say somebody would get angry, the teacher would get angry. 16 years old, I'm not going to take this. He would, leave, go off the derech. So Yosef ben Gamla came and he said, no, doesn't work like this. I can't have everybody come to 10 places, let's say in Israel. I'm going to make a new rule. Every state, every county, every city, every neighborhood has to have a place of learning, right? שבכל עיר, מדינה, עיר ועיר, every city. Not from 16 years old, from 6 years old. Before 6, they're too young, they don't learn much. After 6, someone says you could feed them like a cow. Teach them as much as you can. Very good, excellent. So that Yosef ben Gamla saved the jury. And he did this because there are a few people who didn't have fathers. So maybe ask only for a few people was worth the whole thing. Gemara was so worried. Torah will be forgotten. But so few, how many orphans we have in the world? The other person would not make it up. No. Yosef ben Gamla was worried for those few kids. He said the Torah will be forgotten if I don't do this. So Tosfot asks on the first part. It says, why did they institute that there should be teaching places in Yerushalayim? Why didn't it start from other places? Why only Yerushalayim became the holy city? But why Yerushalayim was so important? Because it was Mitzion Teseh Torah. Because from Tzion, from Yerushalayim, Torah will go out. Says Tosfot, because whoever would go to Yerushalayim would see a lot of holiness. The Kohanim oschim be'avodah. Kohen will be busy with HaMikdash. Kohen, what do you do? I have to bring a korban. Today I have to clean the Beit HaMikdash, clean the Mizbeach, take out the ashes, bring this, bring that. Wow. So that's all you do? Yeah, that's all you do. Mechaven libo yot yirat shamayim. You say people are so holy, they're really doing avodat Hashem, service of God. I would focus my heart more. Yirat shamayim, for fear of God. V'lilmod Torah. I will learn Torah. I can learn Torah now because you see this holiness. People are working with holy items. You're inspired to learn Torah. That's why the Midrash says in Sifrei that Ma'aser Sheni is very important. Ma'aser Sheni, we talk about it in Gemara Shoshana. Shemevi lidei Talmud. If you keep Ma'aser Sheni, you learn Torah. Why? Because Ma'aser Sheni, you couldn't eat. You don't give to first 10%, 2% you give to Kohen, 10% you give to Levi. The second 10% you have to eat it. But where? Only Yerushalayim. If you take your Ma'aser Sheni to Yerushalayim, you eat it there. You will start to learn Torah. Why? Says the Sifrei Midrash says because you have to stay for a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. You have a lot to spend there. What do you watch all the time over there? You're watching Kohanim, Tzaddikim, Oskim Torah, Oskim, with HaMikdash. So when you see that everybody is doing work of God, wow, I have to go learn Torah. This is life. What am I doing? I'm all working my workplace. Home, work, home. Home, work, home. All is weekend, sleep. What is my spirituality time? You go to Yerushalayim, everybody is doing Avodat Hashem. Not nowadays. Back in the time. Everyone is doing Avodat Hashem. People do more closer to Hashem, right? So he says. So my Rabbi said, you see, that was the point of Vasili Mikdash Shachanti Betocham. Even Meta Mikdash, I do between the Jews. How? Because when you do Meta Mikdash, when Kohanim are working with Mikdash, people are inspired to learn Torah and keep mitzvot. Mashiach will go to their house. Vasili Mikdash, one Mikdash. Shachanti Betocham. I'll dwell with them, with the Jews. But how? When people are inspired by work of Beit HaMikdash, it was a very, very inspiring work. People are busy all day, all long, only with Hashem's work. that inspires people to keep mitzvot, to learn Torah. Hashem, Shekhinah comes there. So what's the formula of getting Shekhinah to your house?
Torah.
You are inspired to learn Torah and keep mitzvot by watching other people also doing the same thing. Shabbat Shalom.
Like Baruch.
Chodesh Tov.